What if the same thing millions of people are drinking every single morning to lose weight, balance their blood sugar, and feel healthier, was quietly dissolving their teeth, burning holes in their throat, robbing their bones of minerals, and for the wrong person on the wrong medication, sending them straight to the hospital? Sounds like something nobody would ever willingly sign up for, right? Except they already have. Hundreds of millions of them. Every morning. Before breakfast. While congratulating themselves on their healthy lifestyle. It comes in a brown bottle with an innocent label. It smells like salad dressing. And the wellness world has been calling it a miracle for decades. Its name is apple cider vinegar. And the full story, the one that never makes it onto the label, starts right now. Apple cider vinegar. The golden child of the wellness world. The liquid that somehow convinced millions of perfectly sensible adults to voluntarily drink something that smells like a salad dressing accident, first thing in the morning, on an empty stomach, and call it a health ritual. It's in every wellness influencer's morning routine. It's on the shelf of every health food store. People swear it melts fat, clears skin, balances blood sugar, detoxes the liver, and probably does your taxes if you ask nicely. For centuries, humans have treated this murky brown liquid like a cure-all in a bottle. And look, some of that reputation is genuinely earned. There is real science behind certain benefits. We are not here to pretend otherwise. But here's the part that never makes it into the Instagram post. That same bottle sitting on your kitchen counter has a dark side. A side that can quietly dissolve your teeth, burn a hole in your throat, rob your bones of minerals, and for the wrong person on the wrong medication, send them to the hospital. Today, we're opening the bottle on the truth about apple cider vinegar that nobody's pouring into your morning glass. Let's start with what's happening inside that bottle to begin with. Apple cider vinegar is made by fermenting crushed apples with yeast and sugar. The yeast turns the sugars into alcohol, and bacteria then convert the alcohol into vinegar. The result is a liquid with a pH sitting between 2.5 and 3. Just to put that in perspective, pure water sits at a neutral pH of 7. Battery acid sits at around 1. Apple cider vinegar is somewhere uncomfortably in between, closer to the battery acid end of that scale than most people ever stop to think about. That's the liquid millions of people are pouring into their bodies every single morning, often completely undiluted, straight from the bottle, chased with nothing. And their bodies are absolutely not thrilled about it. Let's start with the most visible victim, your teeth. Here's where things get genuinely uncomfortable. A 2014 study tested a variety of different kinds of vinegar on tooth enamel, and after soaking for 4 hours, researchers measured a 1 to 20% loss of minerals. Now imagine doing that not for 4 hours but every single morning for months or years. Enamel begins weakening at a pH of 5.5 or lower, and dentin softens at a pH of 6.5 or lower. Apple cider vinegar at a pH of 2.5 blows right past both of those thresholds like they aren't even there. A case study reported the story of a 15-year-old girl whose enamel was significantly eroded, and the culprit was traced directly to the daily glass of apple cider vinegar she had been drinking for weight loss. 15 years old. With the kind of tooth damage you'd expect to see in someone decades older. And here's the part that makes dentists genuinely wince. The damage from acidic substances like apple cider vinegar is irreversible. Enamel does not grow back. Once it's gone, it's gone. You can whiten your teeth, you can fill cavities, but you cannot regrow the protective armor that took years to dissolve away. The people telling you to rinse your mouth with apple cider vinegar for whiter teeth? They are handing you a shortcut to a very expensive dentist's chair. Quick question before we continue. Have you been drinking ACV regularly and noticed your teeth feeling more sensitive lately? Drop a comment. I have a feeling a lot of people are about to connect some dots. Now let's travel from your mouth down into your throat. Because the acid doesn't stop once it gets past your teeth. Apple cider vinegar has the potential to cause esophageal burns. A review of harmful liquids accidentally swallowed by children found that acetic acid from vinegar was the most common acid that caused throat burns, and researchers recommended that vinegar be considered a potent caustic substance kept in childproof containers. Read that again slowly. The same classification used for household chemicals that require childproof lids, applied to the thing wellness culture has been telling you to shoot like a morning health tonic. Drinking undiluted ACV regularly and for extended periods caused throat ulcers and blood vomiting in one 15-year-old, according to a 2020 case study. And it's not just liquid form. One woman experienced throat burns after an apple cider vinegar tablet became lodged in her esophagus. So if you thought the pill form was the safe, civilized alternative to the raw liquid, surprise! The acid is still in there. It just comes packaged in a more trusting-looking capsule. Here's a side effect that catches people completely off guard, especially anyone managing diabetes. ACV is marketed aggressively to diabetics and pre-diabetics because it genuinely does appear to help moderate blood sugar spikes after meals. That part checks out. But the mechanism that creates that benefit comes with a hidden cost. Research from the University of Lund found that apple cider vinegar reduces the gastric emptying rate, meaning it slows down how quickly food leaves your stomach. For most people, in small amounts, this sounds harmless enough. But for someone with gastroparesis, a condition where the stomach already empties too slowly, apple cider vinegar can worsen symptoms of gastroparesis and make blood sugar management more difficult for people with type 1 diabetes. Imagine telling a diabetic patient to take something that helps their blood sugar numbers look better on a short-term test, while simultaneously making their underlying digestive condition significantly worse. That's not a trade anyone would knowingly sign up for. Yet it's happening quietly, every morning, in kitchens across the world, because nobody mentioned the fine print. Now this next one is the plot twist that makes even doctors do a double take. Apple cider vinegar is widely promoted as something that's good for your bones. Better mineral absorption. Alkalizing effects. Your joints will feel 20 years younger. Except there's a rather inconvenient case sitting in the medical literature that nobody in the wellness space ever seems to bring up. A 28-year-old woman consumed a full cup of apple cider vinegar diluted in water daily for 6 years. She was admitted to the hospital with dangerously low potassium levels and abnormalities in her blood chemistry. She was also diagnosed with osteoporosis, a condition that is rarely seen in young people. Doctors who treated her believe the large daily doses led to minerals being leached from her bones to buffer the acidity of her blood, and noted that high acid levels can reduce the formation of new bone. Let that sink in for a moment. 28 years old. Osteoporosis. From 6 years of doing something the internet told her was healthy. The acidity of apple cider vinegar may contribute to metabolic acidosis when consumed in significant quantities, and this condition can mobilize calcium from the bones to buffer the acidity, resulting in potential loss of bone density over time. The same bottle promising to strengthen your body was slowly hollowing out the very bones holding it together. If there is one story in this video that deserves to be screenshot and sent to every person you know on a heavy ACV routine, that's the one. And the medication interactions? Those deserve their own warning label too. For individuals on diuretics such as furosemide or hydrochlorothiazide, consuming ACV may raise potassium levels in the body, potentially leading to imbalances that could cause symptoms like heart arrhythmias, muscle cramps, or weakness. People who take insulin or insulin-stimulating medications and consume vinegar may also experience dangerously low blood sugar or potassium levels. And digoxin, a heart medication taken by millions of older adults, already lowers potassium. Stack ACV on top of that and you have a silent recipe for potassium levels dropping to a point that affects the heart itself. No drama. No warning label on the bottle. Just a quiet interaction happening in the background while the person believes they're doing something virtuous for their health. And before anyone runs to the supplement aisle thinking the pills are safer than the liquid. One published analysis of apple cider vinegar supplements found that some products could be considered poisonous according to Consumer Product Safety Commission guidelines. The pill form is even less regulated and even less studied than the liquid. The wellness packaging just makes it look friendlier. So what's the actual verdict on apple cider vinegar? Here it is, said plainly, without drama. Apple cider vinegar is likely safe and well tolerated when diluted and taken in small doses. Side effects are unlikely at the amounts used in normal food products, but can occur in higher doses or when liquid ACV is not diluted. 2 teaspoons, diluted in a full glass of water, with a meal, that's what the reasonable science actually supports. Not a morning shot glass. Not a daily cup. Not undiluted, not on an empty stomach, not every single day indefinitely. The real problem was never apple cider vinegar itself. The problem is the gap between what a cautious, evidence-based dose looks like and what internet wellness culture turned it into. One influencer does a morning shot, gets 10 million views, and suddenly half the internet is chugging undiluted acid before breakfast thinking they've cracked the code to eternal health. And somewhere in the background, teeth are eroding, throats are burning, and bones are quietly losing minerals. All in the name of a wellness trend that never came with adequate instructions. Use it wisely if you use it at all. Dilute it. Respect it. And if you're on any medication, have the conversation with your doctor before making it a daily habit. Because the difference between a useful kitchen ingredient and a slow-motion health mistake is almost entirely about dose, dilution, and the information nobody bothered to give you. That's the story behind the bottle. And now you have it. If this changed how you think about your morning routine, share it with someone who's been downing ACV shots and calling it self-care. Their teeth will thank you.